to talk about something real quick, and then it's something I want to share that just needs to come out. Not about me, it's about what this really is that a lot of people have not been awakened to because they've been in the coffin and didn't know it. But I want to say this. Satan, whoever you want to call it, Lucifer, Satan, whoever, is it a part of our own mind? Fall down and worship me. Now, I'm trying to remember what led me to saying this. I think what led me to saying this is because I'm aware of what this is. And I'm going to get to it. Okay, we're in all those zombie movies. It's not just about the COVID-19 and people turning into zombies. People who are not awakened to what's really going on in their true self are the zombies. People who are still stuck in their egos are the real zombies, okay? And the only thing, this thing with this whole computer virus, because that's what I'm going to call it, computer virus, it's more to keep people from connecting to their true selves, to keep people from to shut off the crown chakra and all that stuff. But that's not. I've seen what this looks like. I've said before that this is an illusion. Our brains receive information. So what we see is a result of everyone else's thoughts, right? We all, most of us share the same thoughts. You know, most of us believe in the same things. And so what we see is basically a reality that's being created because of a collective consciousness, because of everybody's thoughts. Okay, what we see with our so-called physical eyes, okay? But, gosh, I'm trying to remember how I got to that point because I was thinking of something. So, you know, I'm not a Christian, but the thing about the Bible is that if interpreted correctly, you're going to get a whole lot of wisdom if it's interpreted correctly. The reason why people say leave the Bible alone is because of the way the preachers in the pulpit use it in a way to manipulate people when they had the information out alone. Many of them, some of them don't know nothing. But many of them that have these degrees in theology and all of that stuff, they understand, and they are told to say such things and manipulate people. So I will give you the world if you fall down and worship me. And that was Satan talking to Jesus when he was going on this, 40-day fast? Why at the end of his 40-day fast, all of a sudden Satan show up? Now, you know that's his mind because he's ready to give up. Fall down and worship me. That's your mind. Satan is a part of your mind. Satan is a part of yourself, or ourselves, all of us. Okay, because I don't mean to just say you like I'm just like talking at somebody, okay? Because people do that, you know. But I'm talking about myself too, okay? Satan is your mind. Satan is your mind. I will give you everything if you fall down and worship me at almost the very end of this fast. Just fall down and worship me. Because when people get out of their mind, I just love this song by Erykah Badu. I mean, I don't know anything about her personally, so whatever personal problems anybody have with Erykah Badu, I mean, I don't know anything about that. But this song stood out to me. Out my mind, just in time. It's called 20 Feet Tall. No, wait a minute. No. It's called Out My Mind. It's like a 10-minute type, it's a 10-minute song. But there's another song called 20 Feet Tall. It's a good one too. She has some deep stuff. But at the end, because you get to the point where you let go of this illusion that your mind has created, our minds have created. Once we get out of the illusion and let go of the superficial type of living, the superficial world, and connect to our true self, Satan don't exist no more. The ego doesn't exist anymore. Satan does not exist anymore, along with whoever his demons are. But when you're on your path to connecting to your true self and trying to stop things, all of a sudden stuff happens. All these demons coming at me, these demons. Let me tell you something, and I'm going to say this. When my family kept trying to kill me, I'm just going to say it because at this point, I don't have longer here. What do you mean I don't have longer here? I don't have longer here because you know what? It's time for me to wake up. Yes, wake up. It's time for me to go on to the living, not the dead. As long as I'm in the physical body, having to eat physical food to live, I am the living dead. Now, I'm going to have a special video about that later. But I connect to my true self to have that connection, but I'm still the living dead as long as I'm in some kind of physical existence having to eat. You have to take some you know what? I'm going to save that for later because it's going to be a special one. It's going to be a special one. It's time for me to get out of this. I mean, I've been warned so many times. That's why stuff keep happening. That's why stuff keep happening. You're like, why stuff keep happening to you? You must not be manifesting. Something wrong with you. You manifesting. Excuse me, I'm being silly. Sorry. No, maybe it's time for you. You don't know how long you've been here. Sometimes you don't realize how long you've been here just because you might not be that old in a chronological sense in this particular time. According to this particular calendar, you might think you're young. You're old as hell. And it's time for me to go. It's time to stop being dead. I mean, I'm awakened to what's going on and where I am in my true self, but I ain't. God dang it. It's hot out here. It's like 123 degrees out here, man. Let me just turn off my car. I'm awakened to who I am. But I'm still locked down to a physical type of existence, which is a particular hell. It's a particular type of hell. Okay? Which brings me to the point to say you're not really trapped. I know I talked about trap before, and the earth and how they trapping you here and they trapping souls and you can't get out. Well, that's a conversation that'll be an interesting conversation because I don't know if you completely, when I say kill yourself, I'm talking about completely kill your ego, which means you have to detach from this world and completely get rid of the superficial layers of yourself to the point where you're nothing but true self. And you really have no identity left. Sometimes I forget who I am, and the only time I remember who I am is because I have stuff to do, like have to go somewhere. I have appointments to make. I still have errands that I might have to run. That's the only time I remember this ego, my name that's given to me from birth. That's the only time I remember that is when I have things to do. But for other than that, I forget who I am because that's not me. That's the reason why I forget, because it's not me. But okay, I'm going to get off this in a second, though. But, I will give you the world if you fall down and worship me. The mind is telling you to keep worshiping it. I see this thing I see a lot of, this is how I would say the powers that be in our mind are afraid because I've been seeing some things. I see Mind Valley has got very popular. And all of this mental stuff is going on, telling you how to trick your mind and do all this stuff with your mind to manifest what you want, and all this. They're trying to make sure you stay in the mental, okay, in the mental. Um, instead of kind of moving to the heart or whatever, instead of trying to merge with spirit, I say, it's almost like keeping you in the mind. Well, think this way, do this with your mind, and you get, you can connect to different frequencies, and you can have this much of money, you can live in this kind of house. I will give you everything. I give you the world if you fall down and worship me. But, yeah. I hope I don't run out because I don't have a lot of space in this thing, but so interesting that I thought about that. So interesting that I thought about that. But the reason why I thought about that is because I hear people talk about how they see Lucifer, they see all these demons, and they see this and that. Oh, okay, I've seen them in the past too, as long as my mind believe it, because my mind believe whatever I believed as a child, and then you're around people in the consciousness with people who share the similar ideas, and so then these things become real. And you can see things in the etheric realm. Here's what I'm gonna say about that. When a lot of people so-called die, which is not really real, because you're actually dead when you're in a physical body. And when you come out of this type of physical 3D type of existence that's limited, you're into like a different form of light or whatever, or density. But wherever your consciousness was is where you're going to be. So these people that talk about what they seen after they died or come back to life or whatever, well, it's pretty much because of what you believed. If you like, think about when you were a Christian and you felt like you might have seen Jesus. And think about if you were a Muslim and you think you might have saw Allah, or you might have had a dream about Muhammad, right? Some people who are Muslim say they saw Muhammad, right? People who are Hindu think they saw those guys, think they saw Ganesha or whatever. It's according to what they believe is the kind of reality, is the kind of world they created for themselves, even in what you would call the astral world or whatever. And it's all a part of the mind. It's all these dimensions, I think, are in the mind. I think all of these dimensions are in the mind. Even if you're in a particular dimension in the mind where everything is for free, where you get out of this world where you have to, I'd rather be in a dimension where everything's for free. I'd at least be in that. Shoot. Honestly, I know it's still all an illusion, but I would at least like to be in a dimension where I don't have to worry about paying doggone rent all the time. Now, I'd rather do that. But it's good to know, because if you're in a dimension where everything is going great, you don't understand that you're really in an illusion, and you're going to like it too much to the point where you won't ever want to be free. But I gotta go, man. It's getting so hot. Like, I'm in the area. It's like over 100 degrees out here. It's 123. I gotta go. This thing is getting hot. But yeah, I will give you the world if you fall down and worship me. And these folks are teaching about all this manifestation through your mind and tricking your mind and hypnosis. I have no problem with that, because, sometimes when your mind is taking so much since you were a little child, even though that's not the final answer, that'll help free you up a little bit, So I get into a little bit of that, reprogramming the mind and stuff too. Because, sometimes you just got to go through the process. It ain't going to just happen like that, right? You got to go through, but I understand it's all an illusion, but at least you get to free yourself up a little bit from the hell that your mind held on to before. At least you get a little bit of heaven that gets to be created in your mind, even though it's all an illusion. And then you eventually just be free altogether and let this whole thing go. But I got to go, and I might come back with something big. I don't know. But yeah. We're going to talk about that. I think I'm going to talk about that living dead, but it's going to be later on tonight. All right.